If you're unfamiliar with Grimes, then buckle up, because getting to know the quirky musician is a wild ride. An artist known for her outlandish style and persona, she's managed to stir up plenty of buzz over the years thanks to her unusual ways. Here is the untold truth of Grimes. Born in Vancouver, Canada in 1988, Claire Boucher, who later became Grimes, was raised by her mother, a former prosecutor, and her father, a former banker. She also has 2 brothers and 2 stepbrothers who motivated her to be a competitive child. She told Rolling Stone, "I remember getting really good at this Pokemon video game because it was this ego that I had to defeat them. I did track and field because I needed to be faster at running than my f***ing brothers." While Grimes' relationship with her siblings obviously had an impact on her, she also had a memorable grandfather. The star explained that while visiting her grandpa during college, he wanted to keep her safe from the, quote, vagrants he hired to work on his property, so he locked her in a shipping container with a pistol. Grimes' youth also included Catholic school, where she was bullied, perhaps because she went through, quote, a Wiccan phase in 7th grade, according to the Fader. However, she says that she stopped doing witchcraft after casting a spell and watching as a, quote, rosary crumbled in her hands, which she understandably found really scary. While she's known professionally as Grimes, in May 2018, she took to Twitter to announce that she had decided to change her name to the letter C, lowercase and italicized, which is the symbol for the speed of light. The Verge explained, according to Grimes, Elon Musk encouraged the change, but as Grimes noted on Twitter, she had considered her given name Claire the bane of her existence since she became sentient, in part because of a speech impediment, and had long wanted to change it. When Grimes decided that the time had come to finally change her personally bothersome moniker, she pointed out that C was already her nickname among friends, and Musk simply pointed out that she need look no further for a new appellation. Frankly, it makes sense that Grimes would opt for a nickname-turned-legal name that's super scientific, wildly unusual, and perfectly on brand. Like many other meat-abstaining famous folks, Grimes is a vegetarian and has been for years. She explained to Teen Vogue in 2016, "My stepdad is Hindu and never had meat, so it was very easy for me growing up. There would always be vegan food around. It is political for me, but also, to be honest, I have no idea how to cook meat." However, sticking to a veggie-based diet doesn't necessarily mean that Grimes eats healthy. The singer talked to Harper's Bazaar in March 2020 about what she was eating during her pregnancy and revealed that she hates fruit and, quote, vile vegetables. Instead, her typical menu begins with caffeinated cubes in the morning. Grimes explained,
"And I usually just eat one of those and then go back to sleep, and then slowly the caffeine enters my system and then I wake up."
She also enjoys butter toast, explaining, "I melt like a stick of butter on a plate and then I put toast in it, completely saturated in butter. Then I put a little bit of jam on it and eat that. It's actually incredible." A final dietary staple is sludge. Yes, sludge. This delicacy is made of a blend of a large amount of vegan A's and sriracha hot sauce combined with chopped veggies and couscous. A sludgy mixture Grimes describes as surprisingly tasty, but also kinda gross. Grimes has an interesting relationship with gender, saying to the Fader, "I was raised in a house with 4 brothers. I wasn't raised as a boy, but I was not just raised as a girl. I don't want to say I don't identify as a girl, but I don't give a shit about gender. The thing that I hate about the music industry is all of a sudden it's like Grimes is a female musician and Grimes has a girly voice. It's like, yeah, I'm a producer and I spend all day looking at graphs and EQs and doing really technical work." This attitude is perhaps why Grimes intends to embrace gender-neutral parenting when it comes to raising her baby. She explained in a YouTube livestream, "I don't want to gender them in case that's not how they feel in their life." Considering that Elon and Grimes' kid has Elon Musk and Grimes for parents, no one should be shocked that they're utilizing such forward-thinking parenting techniques. Grimes has always been a night person, telling Rolling Stone she, quote, has trouble getting anything done before dinner time and would prefer to go to sleep as late as 9 a.m. and wake up at 5 p.m. The star realizes that her nocturnal leanings are neither typical nor necessarily healthy, which is likely why she says that she tried to keep regular hours when she became pregnant, though she didn't like how it made her feel. Interestingly enough, she also told Rolling Stone in March 2020, while pregnant with her first child, "I think my kid will be nocturnal. Currently it is. It doesn't move during the day, only at night." When contemplating that her child may force her to swap her nighttime loving schedule for the kind of daytime living that she apparently finds stifling to her creative output, she seemed uncharacteristically resigned, saying, "We'll see. I might be about to ruin my life and career." Many people begin to pursue one path before realizing that they're meant to do something else, which is something that can be said of Grimes. When the star went to Montreal's McGill University in 2006, she thought she was going to be an astrophysicist. She ended up double majoring in philosophy and psychology, with minors in Russian language and a field called electroacoustics. She told the Fader, "We did like psychophysics and I never took calculus, and you were supposed to take calculus to get in, so I constantly had to be teaching myself calculus behind the class. I mostly just tried to prove that I could." She ended up ditching school after the summer of her junior year, following what she describes as a breakdown and lots of drug taking. However, we see a lot of echoes of her scientific interests in the themes and aesthetics of her musical output, so maybe her brief post-secondary experience wasn't a complete waste of time after all. When university didn't work out for Grimes, it would have been understandable if she had attempted to pursue a path that involved a career that was somewhat simple and stable. However, she told The Independent that she instead ended up on a houseboat on the Mississippi with a few chickens and a lot of potatoes. Unfortunately, according to the Fader, Grimes had to give her foul friends away, quote, "because it's not nice to bring chickens on a boat." She nonetheless revealed that she, quote, "had some ducks, but they escaped, and lots of sacks of potatoes," finally claiming, quote, "that's not that weird." Debatable. Apparently, the living situation was not entirely legal, as Grimes describes the boat being impounded by police and its multi-species occupants sent to search for shelter elsewhere. You might ask yourself, why would Grimes live this way at all? Grimes said that it was likely her way of dealing with her not-so-great life at the time, which had included a job putting up posters in freezing weather, a recent breakup with a longtime boyfriend, and the deaths of 2 friends in a single year. If you've ever seen one of Grimes' videos, such as Genesis, Kill v. Maim, and Flesh Without Blood, Life in the Vivid Dream, you'll know that she likes to use her body to express herself creatively in the same way that she uses her music. One of the reasons she's likely so comfortable with her body is that she spent 10 years studying ballet. She told the Fader, "I think at some point in grade 8, I started smoking pot. I was just listening to System of a Down. I would show up to ballet and all the kids would make fun of me, and no matter where I went, everyone thought I was insane. So I was just like, I cannot be here. I have to do something, so I cannot be forced to do this anymore." That unfortunate ending to her dance pursuits is perhaps why ABC News notes that she now looks back at that time and claims that she had, quote, "a pretty intense history with ballet." Grimes' past as a dancer and current status as a music industry star should mean that it's not surprising to discover that she's also a visual artist who designs her own album art and merch, even having solo shows in galleries. Not only has Grimes exhibited her own work, in 2012 she also curated a charity art show at the Audiovisual Arts Gallery in Manhattan, which featured her paintings and drawings as well as pieces from other Canadians. Beyond that, the star once ran an Instagram account dedicated to sharing work from her creative admirers. In describing her artistic influences, Grimes has repeatedly identified a lifelong obsession for anime and a deep interest in the work of graphic novel artists like Charles Burns and Dan Clowes that developed later in life. It's clear that Grimes' artistic preferences are as contemporary as her other interests.
Despite being required to disclose that this is an advertisement, I need to say that this is one of the greatest pieces of art in the 21st century.
Grimes may have been born in Canada, however, as an adult, she's made her home in the United States. In 2018, the singer picked up a 3,721 square foot residence in Pasadena, California, according to The Observer, apparently getting an unbeatable discount on the $2 million price tag. While the performer embraces an unusual lifestyle, one way that she started leading a typical celebrity-like life was by purchasing what sounds like an enviable, star-worthy abode. The home featured vaulted ceilings and exposed beams for the living room, as well as a large fireplace and windows running floor to ceiling. Kitchen appliances were all stainless steel, and the home also featured a breakfast nook and granite countertops, as well as a large foyer and library. When she first moved to California, she told the Fader, "I got to a place where I didn't need to run away from the entertainment industry anymore. I just had to do that to make sure I could get to a place psychologically where I wouldn't go insane." However, according to Rolling Stone, as of March 2020, she was living with Elon Musk in, quote, one of the multiple Los Angeles properties owned by her boyfriend. While we don't know the exact details about her current residence, we have no doubt it's the kind of place that most people could only dream about calling home. Grimes is a creative force, an intriguing star, and a rather rich woman who's estimated to be worth at least $3 million, according to Celebrity Net Worth. While she's obviously doing fine on her own, her fortune is nothing compared to Elon Musk's $36 billion. Grimes opened up about money in March 2020, revealing that she used to be worried about income inequality, telling Rolling Stone, "It was something I spoke about a lot before dating my boyfriend." However, because she believes Musk isn't just buying yachts with his fortune, she apparently finds it easier for her to accept his wealth, saying, "If someone's just gonna take all his money and put it into making the world better, I admire it a lot. I think it's great. To me, it does not contradict my beliefs." Grimes also noted that she doesn't accept any of Musk's money to fund her work because his fortune is supposedly, quote, devoted to essential projects. As she declared to the outlet, quote, "Grimes is funded by Grimes," adding, "I don't want to divert funds from, like, Tesla to my stupid art project. I can't say the things I say and believe what I believe and then take money from my boyfriend." However, she added, quote, I would like childcare." While Grimes' success has come along with perks like fame and fortune, there have also been drawbacks, such as serious danger to her safety. She told the Fader, "I get threats constantly. All female musicians do. It's like part of the job." She added that when she plays a show, she has, quote, to have 3 bodyguards in front of the stage, along with bodyguards on the side. She admitted that while her Grimes persona was meant to create a personal world where everything was as she wished, it has instead become a daunting reality that she has to deal with. Thankfully, she still has her music as an escape. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite music are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.